A few days ago, we showed you the updated and facelifted version of the Tata Nexon. Today, we have the Nexon EV with us to talk about. While many of the updates of the new Nexon EV are similar to the regular version of the Nexon, there are a few changes in terms of the looks and features which makes it apart from the ICE version of the car. Curious to know more? Well, stay tuned till the end while we explore this car and tell you everything you want to know about this. Now, as you can see, we are in a lovely weather and we are in Pune, and we have been driving this car for a long time now just to check out how it works. And that's why you will see a lot of dirt on it, but I promise you we will show you every bit of changes in this car. Starting at the front, you will get similar updates like the regular Nexon, but there is a different grille, as you can see right here. And there is an addition of a light bar as well. Now this light bar, it gives you dynamic scenes when you lock and unlock the car, and also when it is charging it will show you the status in this light bar as well. So if it is like 80% charged, the light bar will show only glow till here. Apart from that, the front end remains the same like the regular version of the Nexon. Now let's quickly jump to the side of the car. Well, on the side profile there are no changes when you compare it with the regular Nexon facelift. You do get a small badging of .ev, which is Tata's new brand identity. The .ev you will see with all the new Tata cars. Apart from that, everything else remains the same. You do get roof rails which are not functional, of course. Plus you also get this badge which says Tata has sold more than 50 lakh cars since its inception in India. The wheels, they remain the same. They are still the 16 inches with the aero inserts, but Tata has added new low resistance tires which are better than before, and it increases the range of the vehicle. So that's all the changes on the side of the car. Towards the rear, you will again find very much similar looks to the regular version of the Nexon. However, there is a small change in the bumper which you can see if you squat down and get to see the car from the lower angle. Apart from that, the light bar and everything else remains exactly the same to the facelift version of the Nexon. The Nexon EV is not based on a born electric platform, and that's why all the battery packs, they go on the floor of the car, but Tata has managed to keep the boot free, and that's why you get a space saver spare tire. Apart from the space saver spare tire, you also get a puncture kit and this emergency charger which you can use if you are traveling to some other place where the wall mounted charger is not installed. This boot space is 350 liters, and you can see that we can easily pack 2 overnighters, and there is still space to pack a few more luggage for the weekend journey. Now coming to the fuel lid, the regular Nexon gets a fuel lid where you can pour the petrol or diesel according to the variant. This one gets a charging socket. Now both the mid-range and the long range that we are driving today gets the 7.2 kilowatt charging capacity. With the regular home charger that you saw in the boot, the long range one takes about 15 hours to charge from 0 to 100. With the 7.2 kilowatt charger which Tata will install at your home wherever you park the car, it will take only 6 hours. This one also gets a DC charging capacity which will charge the vehicle from 10% to 100% in just 56 minutes. Now inside the cabin of the new Nexon EV, you will find a lot of similarities with the new Nexon facelift. However, there are a few additional features and a few other changes. For example, the theme of the car, you will get to see the new cabin which is lighter in color, and also get stitches which are blue in highlights. Now Nexon has shed all the blue highlights from the exterior, but in the cabin it remains in some places. Apart from that, it also gets new features. For example, this massive 12.3 inches infotainment system. Now this gets a different interface and also a host of new features. What are these features? Well, we will have a detailed video of the same on our Instagram channel, so if you want to check that out, head over to our Instagram channel. Apart from that, everything remains the same, including the steering wheel, the instrument cluster. It is all digital, by the way, and the central console. Now coming to the central console, you will get to see the same clean look that you get with the facelifted Nexon. It gets the same capacitive climate control system, gets the same gear lever. Now Tata has updated this gear lever from the rotary dial that you used to get with the previous version. Apart from that, there is a massive change as well. This electronic parking brake, when you compare it with the regular Nexon, you get a much streamlined look because of this electronic parking brake. The previous version of the Nexon EV used to get the electronic parking brake as well. Apart from that, you get the same wireless charging pad for the compatible phones, and a space under the armrest where you can keep your small things. It gets a cooled glove box as well. Now coming to the space of the car, you will find a lot of space around. You will get big bottle holders on the door pads, and also to keep your small knickknacks in the spaces like this. The seating posture, however, is a bit different compared to the regular Nexon, and that's because the batteries goes on the floor, so you sit a little higher, your legs are a little higher. However, if you go to the rear of the vehicle, you will find there is ample space for 3 people, and there is ample amount of under thigh support as well, which will ensure that you remain comfortable on the long journeys. Now before we start talking about the driving of this car, I want to tell you that Tata has rejigged the variants of the Nexon.ev as well. Now this car, this variant, this 2023 update doesn't get the max or the prime like the previous version of the Nexon EV. It now only gets long range, which we are driving, and another one which is called medium range. The long range that we are driving, it gets a 40.5 kilowatt hour of battery pack, and this is the same specification as the previous generation of the car. However, it does get an updated electric motor, which is 20 kilograms lighter than the previous version. Now this new lighter motor, it also runs at a very high RPM. Previously, the maximum RPM achieved by the electric motor was 11,000 RPM, but this one, it goes up till 17,000 RPM, which means it can accelerate much quicker and it can also hit a higher speed. Tata has, however, restricted the top speed to 150 kmph for safety purposes. Now coming to the range, we have been driving this car since morning, and I must tell you that we are not driving this car as the owner would drive. We have been testing 0 to 100s on multiple occasions. We have been driving this car very rashly. We have been doing a lot of overtakes, and this is not something a regular owner will do with this car. So we have done about 96 kilometers since morning, since we started the car from the hotel, and currently it is showing 66% of range, which means in 44% we have driven the car for about 96 kilometers. The range currently is showing 176 kilometer. Now we have been fiddling with the different modes in this vehicle. Currently it is an economy driving mode. It also gets city and sport drive mode, which changes the power output of the vehicle just like it used to do in the previous version of the car. Now Tata claims that the range has increased. According to the ARAI, the range of the new long range version of the Nexon is 465 kilometer. However, in the real world conditions, it will do around 300, which it seems to be true in my opinion as well. It also gets 3 level of regeneration, which you can set from these paddle shifters right behind the steering wheel. Most of the times we have been on the level 3 of the regeneration, and it is pretty strong in my opinion. So in most occasions, if you're driving the car in the level 3, you will be able to do the one pedal driving, which is quite interesting and quite fun in my opinion. Apart from that, coming to the driving part itself, the steering wheel, it weighs up very nicely as you go at higher speeds. It is quite precise, and it is quite fun to drive car, especially because the batteries are on the floor of the car, which lowers the center of gravity and makes the cornering fun thing. So you can take high speed corners without any fear. The car won't go anywhere. There is ESP as standard across all the variants. However, do remember that this car, they run on the low resistance tires, which means they have less friction to increase the range of the vehicle. It means if the surface is slippery or you are taking this car to places like wet grass or muddy trails, you might feel that the tires are slipping quite a bit. Apart from that, the comfort of this vehicle is quite phenomenal. We have been driving this car through the city roads and on the highways as well, and we feel that the seats are very well designed. They are well cushioned to keep your body in one place, and you do feel comfortable and do not feel very lethargic on the long journeys. Now this is an electric car and it offers ample of torque. According to Tata specification, it produces about 145 PS of maximum power and 215 Nm of peak torque, which means there is an ample amount of torque available to this vehicle, and it makes overtakes seem very simple, very easy. Similarly, if you do get stuck inside the city traffic limits, the crawl mode of the new Tata Nexon EV is quite strong, and you can use just the brake pedal to pass through the heavy traffic situations to your way home or to the office. Now the new Tata Nexon.ev is a major upgrade compared to the previous version of the car. Now if you consider the XUV 400 EV as a competitor to the Nexon EV, well, this one gets many more features and it looks better as well. The XUV 400 EV does look very outdated, especially if you compare it to the new Nexon.ev, and that gives Tata a massive cushion when it comes to the pricing of the vehicle. How much extra would you pay for the extra features that the new Nexon EV gets over the last model? Do let us know in the comment section below. And if you ask us, Tata does have a massive blockbuster that will launch on 14th of September, and we will soon get to see a lot many of these Nexon EVs on the road. What do you think about this car? Do let us know in the comment section below, and as always, do not forget to subscribe to the Car Talk channel and press the bell icon to get regular updates.